Welcome back, everybody, to the Oakland A's franchise and MLB The Show 23. We're here in Season 5 with the A's off to a 13-11 start. Nobody's breaking out in the American League West, be it in a good way or a bad way. That is the opposite of what's happening right now in the NL West, where there's already a 13-game gap between first and last place. But here we are, having debuted the stadium this year, gotten through our first series, and now we're into the meat of the season, 24 games in. I do feel pretty good about this start to the year. We currently own the Major League's 18th team batting average, and we are a top 5 scoring offense, with a few key players breaking out, such as Trey Sweeney and Tyler Soderstrom. We're still one of the best home run hitting teams, and I'm expecting this to start to decline as we get further into the season. We also have the 4th best team ERA right now, so things are just clicking top to bottom with this team, but still we're only 2 games above 500. But as we sit here right now in the month of April, yes, Tyler Soderstrom is back, and we can immediately get him back into the lineup. I did add an extra catcher because I wasn't sure if I would need to bring somebody up. Can't just have the same catcher as the only healthy option for like a week, but Soderstrom's back. I don't have to worry about that anymore. But now that we're at this point and we're close to wrapping up the season's first month, I am thinking about, alright, what are those first roster moves that need to be made? We've had Miguel Vargas struggle, but I felt like he improved his play last episode, and we'll see how today goes. When it comes to pitching, I know we need another lefty here in the bullpen, and Kendrick Haynes has struggled, so he is an early candidate to be sent back down. And I think the player that would be coming up is Alfonso Montes. And I think he projects best as a relief arm anyway with that 62 stamina. He's not like a dominant strikeout guy, but he does a good job avoiding walks, and he just seems to be a good balanced option that you could rely upon in the bullpen. And I think that we should get a game in with him today, and then think about a call up. We're going to start out here, a 1-run lead to protect. Let's go see if Arraez can shut it down. It might be our only game we watch inside our building today, and we're taking on the Mariners here in the second game of the series. 3-2 game, trying to hold on. Arraez blew 2 saves last episode, which is pretty disappointing by his standards. Ty France fouls off a letter-high fastball and falls behind 0-2. That's a nasty pitch there, but he fouls it off to keep the at-bat alive. In the air, right center field. Carlson is over. 1 down. Arraez facing Cal Raleigh. A 2-1 count and fouled off. Base hit into right field on the hanging curveball, and the Mariners got the tying run aboard. Now a fly ball off the bat of Evan White. Back goes Don at the track, and he makes the catch. What on earth is Julio Rodriguez doing here? Okay, he was a pinch hitter. That's why he's hitting 7th. He's 0 for 1. So, behind him you got Derek Hill. I'm not familiar with Derek Hill, but I'd rather pitch to him. Nearly hit him there with the 12-6. And he missed high. Hey, if we get to Derek Hill, I like our chances, but that would put the tying run in scoring position. And he walked Rodriguez. 2 on now for the Mariners. Derek Hill with the teal arm sleeve, the yellow gloves. This has to be a generated prospect of some sort, right? In the dirt, trying to advance. The game is over! Soderstrom throws out the lead runner at third base. And we'll never know if Derek Hill could have been the hero today. I prefer it that way. Save number 6 for Alex Arraez on the season, and a series victory as we get prepared for a road trip. I love how hot this AAA lineup is early on. You've got so many guys pushing for a spot on the 26-man roster right now. But we're going down to Las Vegas so we can take a look at Alfonso Montes. Montes has outstanding stats on the season. He comes in with a 1.16 ERA. I don't think he's walked anybody. And he's striking out 7 per 9 innings. And given the style of pitcher he is, I think you'll take 7. That one is a stop at second base and a great out at first. That was some good defense out of Robert Passan. We've been talking about him for a couple years. So Montes is a submarine throwing lefty. Now, he doesn't just have like low velocity. I wonder with, this high 90s fastball, could he eventually become more of a strikeout guy? But just given his stamina, I do think that he's a better fit in the bullpen and somebody who could potentially get a lot of innings. A pop-up into shallow right field. And hey, maybe he can go pretty far if he has 6-pitch innings. Mauricio Santana, I remember scouting him, wanting to draft him a few years ago or whenever that was. What do you think his out pitch is here with 2 strikes? Maybe a lefty-lefty breaking ball? Not that one. With the count full now, just throw him a strike. Struck him out. Falling behind Nick Solak. It's a 3-1 count. Montes misses away and gives up his first base runner. And will now face Travis d'Arnaud. That's on the ground, right at third base. It's a double play, wrapping up the second. Fouled back, a center cut changeup here. We are bottom 3 currently. And Montes has him out in front for strike 3 again. Uh-oh, that could be trouble. Deep down the left field line. It stays in the park and is a ground rule double. He's left a few over the plate, but Reno finally connects on one. As a reminder, Montes was selected in the second draft of the series. He was competitive balance pick B after Miguel Cabrera. So he was in the same class that gave us Joe Michael. A line drive to right, runner holds at third base, but runner's at the corners now for Reno. We'll see if Montes can get one of those ground balls. Just low, and the count going 3-1 on Alek Thomas. Montes delivers way low. That pitch just never came up. Bases loaded. Jose Azocar grounds it foul. How about one of these? All right, that works. Just as I planned it. Curveball, top shelf, and then 0-2 count. Popped up. No, that's a fly ball, and that's going to be a good one to tag on. So, we could not get the strikeout there. Maybe shouldn't have thrown a fastball. And it's 1-0 Reno. See if we can leave it at that here in the third. When we drafted Montes, he had 65 starting overall. He's now in the mid-70s. Grounded to second base. Passan flips it on to second. And we're through 3. He was also drafted with 84 potential. It'll be nice. I should go into some of these players and just take a look if their potentials have changed. Like, I had that one episode last year where I was just flipping out over the changes I was noticing because it was evident on the player card. But I think it only tells you that if the letter grade has changed. So there could be some minor changes here or there that I'm missing. And I've wanted to know more about how variable potential can be. Montes is getting some quick outs here. Pitch to contact guy. He's not going to blow you away with any of these pitches. Just hoping you can't hit it very hard. So far, doing a pretty good job of just that. Travis d'Arnaud fouls off a sinker. How about that curveball? He's at 40 pitches through 4 innings despite having an ugly third. So I came in, concerned about stamina and how deep he could go into games. Well, if you can be a quick worker like this, then you might end up with a starting future after all. But I feel like his stamina would need to come up at least a little bit. Low 60s is hard to trust. And you wonder how this style plays at the bigs. So I think trying him out in the bullpen first would be a good call. But I want to get some info on these starting pitchers at AAA. Just when you think about Keller's contract up at the end of the season, he's our oldest pitcher as well. We're going to want to replace him. Questions about Luis Medina. Will he take a leap, or is he just kind of who he is at this point? An okay, maybe 4th or 5th starter. I think we're looking for that next young arm. Gunnar Hoagland is one guy at AAA who is pitching outstanding this year. He is out of options now, so next season he's not going to be able to be sent down. He's got to find a role. Struck him out again. They're actually chasing some of these sinkers. I'm impressed. He just doesn't miss either. He seems to nail his spots pretty consistently. 0-2. Anderson takes. Let's try to go high this time. And away, ball 2. All right, sinker's gotten a few of these strikeouts, and we do it again. This time looking. With him pitching this well, you wish we had some run support for him. Wasn't expecting to see the 6th inning, honestly, in this start. But here we are. 60 pitches in, and a walk drawn by Alec Thomas. First base runner in a few innings here for Reno. They're looking to bunt him over. And the tag was made, thankfully, because I wasn't playing very good pitcher defense. How often do you see a walk and immediate sacrifice? Like, is this just AAA baseball at its best? Aired out to right, run down, and no advance from the runner, who has good speed. Swung on and missed by Santana. He falls behind 1-2. In the dirt, no advance. Struck him out looking. He's been so good up around the bottom of the strike zone today. There we go. We got a couple more runs, and Montez is still going strong into the 7th inning. And I want to pay attention here to where his stamina's at. Solak to the gap in right center, and that's extras. One hopping the fence. It's a leadoff double. But honestly, to be at 69 pitches and still have that much energy left, this doesn't feel like a problem at all. Base hit right field. Solak coming around. Throw! Not in time! That wasn't a bad throw. I thought he had him. Now Montez appears to be pulled. Las Vegas up 1. And they bring in Antonio Santiago, and this is honestly a perfect place to continue the entire narrative because we need another lefty, and Santiago is maybe the 2nd best candidate to come up this year to be that bullpen lefty. So he was picked up by us in the year 3 draft. That was the reliever draft with Uribe and Gonzalez, the picks that weren't too popular. But also getting Santiago at 78 potential, that's just fine for a bullpen arm. And he's been a pretty quick riser here throughout the minor league system. Hoping to protect a 1-run lead. It's on the ground. Melendez starts it. Double play. Santiago is more of a soft tossing contact first lefty. He'll hit the low 90s with his fastball, throws a splitter as well, and has a changeup and a curveball. Schumann can't make the play, and it's a base hit into left field. Ahead of Blaze Alexander now as he misses high with the splitter. Struck him out wildly, wrapping up the 7th. And let's get an at-bat in today with Miguel Cabrera. He is hitting the ball so well right now. We got 2 on here. I simulated to his at-bat. I think we had a hit and a walk. And nobody out. Fouled back a slow fastball, and Cabrera's 0-2. Good changeup on the outside corner. He gets Cabrera, but now has to deal with Josh Baez, who's been one of the best well-rounded hitters down at AAA this year. He's already hit 6 homers on the season. That's more than anybody else at the big league level right now. And he's hitting near 300. So Baez making his case to return to Oakland here shortly. And we just can't make contact right now. Taken away, and Baez works the count from 0-2 to 3-2. Ivan Melendez is on deck. And the payoff pitch from Wallace. On the ground, base hit right field. Thought about waving the runner, we choose to load the bases instead. That's the kind of hitting that I like to see from Baez, along with the power he's showing this season. He'll be making his return probably sooner than later. Here's Ivan Melendez. 1 for 4. Out in front of the slider, and again we're 0-2. Third straight at bat. In the air, that's headed to right field, into the corner. On to second is Melendez. 2-run score. Here comes Baez. A bases clearing double for Ivan Melendez. Here's Robert Puason. We have a runner now at third base. That's Melendez. Puason just hasn't had a good couple years of hitting, unfortunately. He's had trouble hitting at AAA. He's hit pretty well at AA, but the bat's been a slow developer for him. Right field, not going to drop in, and we head to the bottom of the 8th. Let's keep the lefties coming in here, and finally, I'm not sure I've ever pitched with Gregorio Uribe. He was selected first round, year 3. 87 potential. And now he's at AAA, getting closer and closer to a spot in the big league bullpen. He's had a great start to the season. Doesn't overwhelm with velocity. He's got a really simple mix as well. Fastball, slider, changeup. So no breaking pitch for him. Down the line, fair. And Knowles will play it in the corner. A leadoff double. Uribe is a good strikeout pitcher. He limits hits at the same time, but walks and homers are the thing we're working on with him. And the pitching clutch. We're not trying to rush him along. I think there's some critical development he still needs. And there's only 13 innings of data to work off to this point, but he has struck out 15 batters in that time. And when you give up a double, it's nice to have that in your back pocket to help you recover an inning like this. So, fastball changeup is the combination here we want to use with him. In the air and down in front of Knowles. Looks like a run will score. So already not the outing he was hoping for. Getting ahead of Pena. Good changeup, but he gets a piece of it. Oh, we've been calling that low strike today. I thought we could get that. 1-2. Wow, he swung. These minor league hitters will swing at anything. Santana into right field. And the third hit. Blade fires to third base. And an accurate throw would have had him. Uribe trying to avoid allowing a second run. And now has to face a couple major league players in Solak and Darno. Slow roller. Gonna be tough to turn it. Angelis couldn't even get a handle on it. Well, it's a couple runs given up by Uribe, but nice to finally get a look at him and realize what kind of a player he is. Fastball changeup. Today just hasn't been his day. But there's a strikeout. Aviators win the game 6-4, and the victory should go to Alfonso Montes, who put together 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, gave up 4 hits and 3 walks, 2 earned runs. That's a good day. So let's take this action back up to the major league level now. Oakland 14-11, getting rocked in the series finale against the Mariners. 6 more games on the road, beginning in Pittsburgh. And Arraez just keeps getting these 1-run leads. We'll do one more of these then. Brian Reynolds leads off for the Pirates. We're here in PNC Park. Arraez is looking for save number 7. Gets ahead of Reynolds in a hurry. We had Miguel Vargas go yard in this game, so it looks like he's continuing to make a positive impact after a really bad start. Really good slider from Reyes. I'm not sure how you take that. In the air, out to right field. That was on the outside part of the plate, and he pulled it a little too early on that to do anything. Teoscar is a Pirate? When did this happen? I thought he was a Yankees All-Star. It's Teoscar Hernandez. 1 down. On the ground, Sweeney at short. 2 down. Franmil Reyes, another powerful right-handed bat. 2 outs for the Bucks. Right in there. Fastball strike 1. And he pulls it into left field where Vargas plays it on a hop. Wilfred Veras. He represents the winning run. Reyes doesn't have great speed. They don't run for him here in the 9th. Surprisingly, we've got to have somebody on the bench that could run for him. And Reyes struggling to find the zone. We have seen some inconsistent control in his starts, and maybe that's just not where he's at his best. Like, he'll get swings and misses. He's a really effective pitcher, but control isn't his calling card. Popped up into center field. Aaron Don has it measured. And the A's take the first in Pittsburgh. Another save, and it looks like it was a victory for Joe Michael. 7 innings of good baseball from Michael, giving up 2. And then a save. Solid 3-2 win. We dropped the next game by 1 run. And now have our Sunday scouting session. We're seeing Jesus Medrano continue to rise up our draft board as we get more information on him. Looks to be not so much a strikeout pitcher, but ball control. And that's a skill set I value quite a bit. How about Cecil Tackett? We're all done scouting him already, 100%. 77 to 89 potential, comes in 21st on our board, and he does a good job limiting home runs. But walks look to be a really serious issue with him, and I'm hesitant on some of these pitchers that give up a lot of walks. I know they don't simulate very well. He throws a screwball, but that might not be enough to make up for the walk concerns. I'm not sure I could draft him at his projection on our board. I'd have to take him later because that walk weakness scares me. Kenneth Franco comes in 37th on the board. He has 73 to 83 potential and looks to have good strikeout and walk upside. Control isn't great. Homers can be an issue. So everybody's got their weaknesses here, it looks like. Throws a pretty good fastball. Christopher Byers, a starting pitcher with 79 to 84 potential. Strikeouts, velocity, and if he's not striking you out, there's a lot of concerns. But he's got a 5-pitch mix, hits near triple digits. He's a modern-day pitcher, basically. So we've gotten a lot of starting pitching options here, I feel. Here's a high potential range, but you're not quite sure what ratings get him to that potential outside of him having great stamina. If you throw 125 mediocre pitches, that doesn't do it for me. His strikeout per 9, his present is 11 to 16. We got some weird prospects here, I feel. But we have a lot of information now. We're going to specifically scout Manny Arraez here. He is a switch-hitting first baseman who looks to be a really good, well-rounded hitter. Might be a DH. But we're going to scout him alone because nobody else here on the board is from the West Coast. So we might as well just focus on him. But on the other hand, we have third baseman on the West Coast that we do need information on a lot more players. So we're looking at some corner infielders that can provide a little pop. And I'm really intrigued here with Kenny Sparbori. So we'll go with the international right fielders as well. We lose the series in Pittsburgh, dropping the final game 3-1. Still hovering around 500, a one-run lead again for Arraez. Let's just make an entire day out of Alex Arraez save opportunities. But this one is stressful. 2 on, 1 down, 1 out. And on deck is Shohei Ohtani. You might want to end the game right here. It's Pete Crow Armstrong, one of the top prospects right now in all of baseball. I think he's in the top 10. One of the best options here with the Cubs. I don't know what they're waiting for. Couldn't the Cubs use this guy right now? Here's an 0-1. Missing low. And a good changeup to get him strike 2. I believe it said Ohtani on deck. I don't know why Ohtani would be in the 9 spot. I saw his name. Chase the curveball. It's strike 3. Who's to bring up? Okay, that is not Shohei Ohtani. Thankfully. He is actually not expected up. Maybe he pitched today is why I saw his name. I just assumed he was on deck. I didn't actually read it. Peyton Henry. It's all on him. On the ground, right at second. Another save for Alex Arraez. Winning these close ones here, low-scoring games. This is where you need a good bullpen, and I think we have one. I'm also really impressed with Marshall Lerma early on. I think he's having an outstanding start to the year. Pretty good start from Luis Medina. Be nice to get these guys a little more run support. We win the next day in Chicago and just can't get the sweep. Kendrick Haynes takes the L in this finale. And with him going through another inning where he can't get, through it without allowing a run, it might be time to send him down. Marshall Lerma goes 2.1 scoreless, and it was the roughest day so far this year for Joe Michael. That'll happen from time to time. This is a pretty good lineup, it looks like, too. Haynes has made 9 appearances this year and has given up 16 hits and 3 walks in 11 innings, only striking out 7. It's a small sample, but I think we're going to be sending him down. How many options does he have? He has all of them. And that's what they're there for. So going back down to AAA then, Antonio Santiago, we saw him. His numbers have been very promising on this season. And for starting pitcher Alfonso Montes, they're even better. Montes is up to 74 overall. Alfonso Montes, welcome to the show. That gives George Williams a chance to go get some starting innings now. Kendrick Haynes can try to rebuild his game. But now we've got that second lefty in the bullpen that I've been looking for. And I'm looking to see Montes hopefully today. I made the move with Arraez and Acevedo after Acevedo had a few really good seasons as our closer. You wonder if this was the right call, just based on the fact that Acevedo has already blown 2 save opportunities this season. So he must have had like 8th inning leads that he surrendered. So he's already blown 2 saves when in the past 3 years he had only blown 16. Everybody in the starting rotation has a decent surface ERA. Joe Michaels is 4.11. That's the worst at the moment. And we're starting to see a little development, it appears, for a handful of players. +1 durability to Miguel Cabrera. Now I just got to figure out how to get like 30 more points of that to feel comfortable. You know, I brought up last episode the possibility of just bringing him up to be on the bench. He wouldn't have to play every day. He could get spot starts. He'd be an impact bat for us there. This bench isn't anything spectacular, and maybe Juan Guerrero is not the best option here for the 26th man. Like, we don't need the utility guy that bad. It's nice to have one, and we could always find somebody else that can play a couple more positions. Another suggestion I saw was to go down to a 7-man bullpen. And I suppose that would be an option if we were to waive a guy like Mason Miller. The month of April is all wrapped up, and we're 17-16. We went 13-14 in April, so we have an under 500 month, basically to start the season, not really counting March. And now, into the month of May, where again, we're playing like 2 series at home, 2 series on the road. Looks like we are back home taking on the Astros. Framber Valdez, no-hitter, but a victory for the Astros. Getting our scouting in here on Manny Arraez, and we're looking at 37th on the board, so a good first week of scouting and somebody we should get finalized. We're going to let this ride for another week. I know all this stuff needs to basically be repeated, so the scouting gets pretty simple at times. Taking on the Angels now. We pick up back-to-back victories. Max McDowell suffers a strained calf. And we got a tie game and extra innings, it looks like, here in this finale against the Angels. Hope you like these smaller bite-sized games, because we're getting a lot that I want to join. Winning run at second base. We can make quick work of this if we play our cards right. Luis Arraez is the batter. Jose Soriano, the pitcher. High, ball 1. That is lined right behind the runner. Are you kidding me? Here is Vladimir Guerrero. And down below, they're giving us the playoff predictions right now. And you'll notice we are absent. Angels have that last wild card spot projected right now at 84-78. So we've got some work to do. An 0 for 3 day for Vladdy at this point. Hitting .277 on the season. 2-0. Missed again. Gotta have the green light ready on this pitch. 3-0. And he walked him. So Dylan Carlson's going to hit. Carlson's had a good episode, raising the average to .240. A single and a double in this game. A base hit could win it with Don at second base. We won't swing at the low fastball. High in the air and driven to right center field. Setting up is Don, and he will sprint on to third base. It's 1st and 3rd. And here is Tyler Soderstrom, who delivered the first walk-off hit and walk-off homer in this building just last episode. With 2 down, he's got to find a way to get a hit. Picked up at first base, and we'll need to go to the 11th. And we're going to bring in Alex Arraez. And I thought about putting in Alfonso Montez, but Arraez was available for this game. And it's Mike Trout leading off. So let's not have the rookie make his debut in the 11th inning against Mike Trout. In the dirt already, Soderstrom gathers it in. Got the runner at third base. Yeah, we've gotten a lot of outs that way in this game. But now the base is empty. And no longer empty. Base hit for Mike Trout. It's Joe Adele. He's hitting .278 for the Angels this season. Trout takes off. Should be a little more looking to hold him here at third base. Or at first base. I know Adele strikes out like 35% of the time. He will chase. The 1-2 to outside. Struck him out. One of those righties you can probably just throw sliders away to every single pitch. Arraez is already tired. He had good stamina when I warmed him up. So he shouldn't go too much further. Come on. In the air for Don. And we'll try to win it bottom 11. So now you've got 58 speed at second base and Darell Arraez to hit. Geloff and Guerrero due up behind him. I think we look to bunt here. And a good one. Advancing to third is Soderstrom as Arraez is out by a step. And Zach Geloff will try and win it. Homer and a single in this game. He now has 5 home runs on the season. Hitting .229 though, the average has been slipping. A lot of ways to win the game right here. Infield in for Los Angeles. Again, Soderstrom doesn't have the best speed there, so, you know, a sharp ground ball, you might have to hold on it. Gotta wonder if they're just going to pitch around Geloff here, get him to first base, and then hope Guerrero grounds into a double play. Good pitch from Soriano. Base hit right field. Geloff wins it. And the A's take the series from the Angels. Got the hanging curveball and just pushed it into right field. Geloff has a walk-off homer. It's a good day here for the Oakland Athletics. Now we're closer to 40 games into the season, and we are seeing the AL West settle with the Astros out in first place and the Mariners 13-26. They're 1-9 over their last 10 games. A look at some of the development we're seeing right now. So Aaron Don has seen his contact versus righties fall, but versus lefties it is on the rise, and his arm's getting a little bit stronger. He has still not homered this season, and hasn't really collected that many extra base hits. His offense has been really disappointing. And I'm not against potentially sending him down to AAA, especially with the expectations of this team and the way Josh Baez has been playing. So Baez now is hitting .260 with 8 home runs, and he's seeing good development at the moment. Down at AA, Yusniel Cruz has found his first 2 professional home runs, but the power has been falling this season. He has 8 extra base hits, slugging .455. Feels a little extreme there for it to be falling like that. Miguel Vargas is hitting .191, and at the moment we're seeing his contact versus lefties and power versus righties go up, and then the contact righty, power lefty down by 2. With Robert Passan's ratings going in the wrong direction, I feel the need to again send him down to the AA level. He's somebody who's already had 2 options used up too, so this is really hurting his timeline. Cole Phillips has been hit pretty hard at AAA already, and he's seeing more going down than up at the moment. So he's definitely not someone we're calling up imminently. Wow, we lost the first 2 games here in Detroit, falling to 500 on the season. We gave up 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. A blown save for Alex Reyes. It wasn't all on him. Tyler Kinley gave up the first 3, and then our closer couldn't get the save. That's an ugly loss, especially on a day where Tyler Soderstrom hits a pair of homers. So Manny Arraez, we're almost done scouting him, and he's at 95%, looking like a really good prospect for us to target early in this draft. Although we have to think of him as basically a DH. Darren Delahanty's up to 6 on our board right now. He's a third baseman who's a really good contact hitter. A switch hitter who is expected to go pretty early. And we'll play this finale against the Detroit Tigers. We are about 40 games into the season, so already a quarter of the way in. We're playing 500 baseball. Our goal this year is to be above 500 into that playoff mix. And, you know, you'd like to see us play a little bit better than we have, but I think we've got a lot of guys on offense that aren't quite playing up to the expectation right now, and might have to make a couple moves going into next episode. So we're here on Mother's Day, and we're playing Game 3 against the Tigers. Luis Arraez hitting .302 on the year, entering. Facing Jude Dorsey. So he's got a fastball, changeup, slurve, and a curveball. Attacking low against the Arraez, 1-2. That's in the air to right field, and it is caught for the first out. There are the batting averages, and Don and Vargas still can't get to 200. I think Josh Baez is going to be coming up next episode. The question becomes, are we sending down Denzel Clark, or are we going to give Don or Vargas AAA at-bats? I lean towards giving one of those two some at-bats, because it might be good for their long-term development. Vladimir Guerrero's hitting .279, has 7 homers on the season. Crushes one in the air to left field. Back at the wall. This one is gone. Home run number 8 for Vladdy. He is still not our home run leader, however. Tyler Soderstrom has 9, and he's hitting .288. This is a phenomenal season for Tyler, who could be playing himself into an all-star bid as a catcher, which, didn't he make it as a catcher a couple of years ago? Even though he wasn't really playing that position? This year, he might just run away with that entire spot. If you feel like we're moving too quickly here through the season, you can let me know. Very rarely do my series end up running too quickly. If anything, we take too much time during some things, but we're already a quarter of the way in. Feel like we just got things underway, but I think it's a good pace. And we're a 500 team that isn't getting too hot or too cold right now. Michael Soroka makes the start, and here is Pedro Duarte for the Tigers. Soroka has a .306 ERA, and early in the year, I noted that his strikeout rate was higher than normal, and I wondered if that would stick around. It has not. He's not suddenly a strikeout guy. He was over like 9 strikeouts per 9 innings, and that's Duarte to the corner. Extra bases, and the Rookie of the Year picks up a double. It's back to the mid-7s, though, for his strikeout rate, so regression to the mean for Soroka. Riley Green is the batter. And he falls behind him, 3-1. They got Freddie Freeman, that's right. High changeup delivered for strike 2. The payoff pitch popped up for Soderstrom. Get out of the way, Riley. Freddie Freeman's here, but this lineup is far from complete, so this is not a winning Tigers organization right now. Freeman to the gap. The game is tied up. Second double of the inning. A little Atlanta Braves reunion there with Soroka and Freddie. Ooh, that was a good pitch. Come on, man. Luis Urias. Just not hitting his spots here. Well, I can't say that. He's throwing pretty good pitches, just unlucky calls. They got Dalton Varsho on deck, so they picked him up at some point. He would have began with the Jays. And he walked him. So far from a clean first inning here for Michael Soroka. Dalton Varsho takes a fastball a foot inside. And the changeup was hung. Left center field. Another extra base hit for the Tigers. 2 runs come around, and it's 3-1. Not a sharp start. Come on. Chased for strike 3, and that is only out number 2. I thought that would end the inning as well. Like, I didn't realize we had 1 out. Base hit right field. Carlson, our first outfielder who can throw. But they didn't test him. Tyler Malone is hitting .216. You've got to end the inning here. We got to settle him down. I agree. Let's do a little mound visit. This is ugly. He's still confident, though. Even though he has no reason to be in this game. But hey, if anybody can settle this down and end up giving us 6 good innings anyway, it's Soroka. There you go. We had to will that strike call into existence. Base hit center field, and it's a 4-run inning for the Tigers. Javi Baez is hitting 9th for Detroit. Pasternaise, I am sick. A 5th run. And the bottom of this order, with everybody hitting like under 200, is reaching base easily. What an ugly day for Michael Soroka. Umpire feels bad for us right now. Arraez looks to end the inning at last. It appears we have some work to do, otherwise we're going to fall under 500. Dylan Carlson leads off in the second. Tigers had 6 hits and a walk in the first inning. Dribbled by Carlson and flipped to Freeman. Aaron Don only hitting .199 as he lifts one in the air to right field. And it's caught on the edge of the grass. Riley Green down the line. That looks to be foul. Nearly the 6th run for the Tigers. I don't know how much more we're going to see Soroka in this one. Definitely not giving up on it. I mean, we're down 4 with a whole game ahead of us. No need to panic. Just be concerned. He just can't locate the changeup today. I don't know how he has confidence in it. He's throwing it belt high every time. Come on, man. That's going to fall in. Freddie to the right side where we can only get 1. We get ahead of Luis Urias. Good changeup and no call. Blew a fastball by him. Hammered to left field. Varsho over the head of Vargas. Another run scores. Yeah, I don't think we've really watched Soroka get hit this hard before. Miguel Vargas, 192, has a few homers. Yeah, I mean, I think that maybe what we need to do is send down Don. Vargas is outplaying him right now, even if it's not significantly. And Don is the player that we're hoping, long-term is a star. So if he's got to go down the AAA for a little bit, we make that call, bring back Baez. And we'll see, what happens with Vargas. It's possible he needs to go down at the same time. His numbers aren't acceptable either. I guess we have a few guys we could look to bring up if we want to send both down. You got Vladimir who could come up, Connor Capel. Denzel Clark can at least play. So there are guys down there, and obviously Miguel Cabrera, that storyline is going to follow us as he continues to play well. Nice, we got a hit. Up the middle, base hit Arraez. Love seeing the 352 on base for Trey Sweeney. Having the type of season that I was hoping for from him. 4 homers, 15 RBIs, and a 2-0 count. Ooh, man, I don't know how I was so late. This one's into left field, and Arraez is waved around. And we'll send Arraez to second base and keep him there. We got a run back. Already 12 hits combined in this game. Guerrero now with a chance to deliver another big hit. Up the middle and played behind the bag. A double play. Strikeout for Soroka of Aaron Shunk. Trying to see if he can give us 3 or 4 innings. But I have a plan the rest of the way for this game. Don breaking to his left. Runs it down. To the 4th inning now, and Soderstrom. Blasted in the air, deep center field, and run down. Yeah, I'm thinking this might be Don's last Major League game for a little bit. Just want to see him reach his potential. And he needs some time to develop right now. As he sends one to left field, a base hit here to start off the 5th inning. Wow, that's a strike 3 call on Vargas. Don takes off. Pitch is low, and he is safe at second base. 7 stolen bases on the year now for Don. Under this one, it's in right field. Don is going to make his way to third base and is in there. But rolled over by Arraez. We cannot bring Don home. We will make a pitching change, and Alfonso Montes will enter the game, making his 3rd appearance. He's given up some runs with that 16 ERA. But this is the perfect kind of game to just give him a chance to go out there. We're already down 4. Maybe he can get a few innings. Maybe he keeps us in the game. But regardless, I want to get a good look at him pitching against some big league batters. And he'll start off here against Luis Urias. The 0-2. On the ground weekly for Muncie. So we get 4 innings out of Soroka. Not a good day whatsoever. You need a multi-inning guy for a day like this, and Montes could be one of our better options. Varsho driven deep to center field. Don at the track. Makes the catch. Blows the fastball by Hayes. Quickly, it's an 0-2 count. And a weak chopper. Muncie, nice play. And the throw even better. A quick 1-2-3 inning. I'd like to get one of these runs back here. Trailing by 4. A chopper up the middle and just past the diving shortstop. This one's driven deep to center field. Back on the track. This one is over the fence. The 10th homer of the season for Tyler Soderstrom. pulling the A's back into this game. 419 dead center and didn't even hit it perfectly. This is real power Soderstrom's developed this season. His career high is 17 home runs, and he should shatter that. This is one of my favorite early stories of the season. We have another power hitter in this lineup. 6-4, Tigers still lead, and off the glove at first base. Carlson still out. Montez will stay in the game, but now it's not so much about giving him the long outing unless he's pitching that well. But 2 innings here. We're in the game again. We'll see how it goes. 2 strikes on Shunk. And a piece of the changeup. Arraez at third base. 4 up, 4 down. But that was almost down the line. Tyler Malone hasn't hit lefties well this season, but hit that one pretty hard. Montez is doing a good job in the AAA start, and now this outing of getting ahead of hitters. Can he put away big league batters, though, is a question. 2-2. He swung. The Tigers have a few key lefties in their lineup, so it's possible Montez stays in a while. They'll have Riley Green. They'll have Freddie Freeman. 1-2. Baez strikes out. 2 scoreless for Montez. Well, we're hoping the comeback can continue. Don leads off the 7th. And this is in the air, out to center field, but an easy play. Nothing for the A's in the 7th. Montez still in the game. He has retired all 6 batters he's faced. Now the top of the order, and Pedro Duarte. In the air, Vargas sent back, gets there. Riley Green lined to center field, and Montez gives up his first hit on a 2-0 fastball. So a base runner, and Freddie Freeman. I at least wanted to see him face these lefties. Still got Varsho up and a couple hitters, so I think this inning is for him as well. That gets through. 2 straight hits here in the 7th. And you got to be careful with this next guy because Arraez hits lefties fairly well. Montez finding a bit of trouble here in the 7th. But a grounder. Sweeney starts a 6-4-3 double play. But now we're in those late innings. We're still down 2, and Garrett Crochet is their closer. So maybe getting one of these in the 8th is critical, especially with the top of this order. Alex Lang is in the game. A 2-1 count. Nearly hitting Arraez. Count 3-1. And now full. Center field underneath it. And a routine play for the first out. Big cut by Sweeney. As we're looking to get our first base runner of the 8th inning. And he sends it out to center field. A high fly ball that is caught near the track. And now Vladdy, who has 2 hits already. Grounds it to short. Picked up by Baez. And we'll have to get it done in the 9th inning. We're going to make a pitching change, but what a phenomenal outing that was for Alfonso Montez. Now we bring in Jonathan Hernandez, who had a great start to the year before an ugly outing Not even an ugly outing, like an unlucky outing. A very unlucky outing last episode. Gave up 4 runs. A leadoff single here to start the 8th inning. Runner takes off now as Hayes fouls it back. Varsho has some speed. What? Excuse me? I can't believe that didn't get called. 1-2. Hayes, does he go? Yes, he does. Now we get the 2 strikes on Shunk. And he goes down looking. Wasn't that a ball a few pitches ago? Tyler Malone is the hitter. We got him 2-2. Runner goes again. Soderstrom has him thrown out by a mile. To the 9th we go now. And we'll face Garrett Crochet, who's only 5 of 7 right now. Righties are giving him some problems. And here's a lefty that we're not going to be taken out of the game. Tyler Soderstrom has 10 home runs. And he's been one of the greatest stories of the series and this season. Garrett Crochet. Drafted in the 1st round. Ooh, that was right down the middle. And he got to the bigs in quite a hurry. He was helping the White Sox the same year he was drafted. Don't hear that very often. Soderstrom lifted foul. And popped up. A fastball that Freeman wants for out number 1. Well, here is Dylan Carlson. Part of getting him is that we'd have someone who could help our numbers against lefties. Good changeup from Crochet. Ahead of Carlson, 1-2. A little late as it flies into right field for out number 2. And it's all on Max Muncy now, hitting .236. Not having his best stretch of play. Fouled back, and now he's behind 1-2. Waved at for strike 3, and the Tigers take this one and sweep us, dropping our record to 20-21 on the season. So this hasn't been a great start to the year like we saw last season when we were above 500. We had like 3 consecutive winning months in a row. 41 games in, we find ourselves in 3rd place right now in the American League West. This looks to be another year where the Astros are going to win this division, and we're going to be in this really packed wild card hunt. But going 3-7 over our last 10 is an issue, and we've got to think about our first really big roster moves of the season. Don and Vargas struggling. I think Don going down to AAA could do him some good. Only slugging .250. His WAR is -0.4. There's no need to just have him struggle right now if he has options available. Max Muncy is seeing some development, and this is one of those things I'm looking for. If players are not playing great, are they at least developing? And in this case, Muncy is, and he's not struggling to the level that Vargas and Don have, even if he's not playing great right now. If we check out the Major League leaders at this point, a quarter of the way into the season, Eloy Jimenez for the Twins has the best batting average in all of baseball. A lot of surprises here towards the top. If we go to home runs, Corey Seager has 17 already. I guess we're 40 games in. That's still a lot. But he's been a 40-plus home run hitter, so that's still, you know, that was the pace that Soderstrom was on before he cooled off a little bit. Soderstrom has 10, which I feel like is a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not. Still a homer every 12 ABs. In the National League, it's only 12. Corey Seager, far and away the best home run hitter this season. So that's going to bring an end to this episode, everybody. What do you think about the team at this point and the roster moves we should look to make as we push towards the draft and getting closer to the All-Star break? We're a quarter of the way in. We've got to string together some series victories. You know, we had an under 500 month of April, and we've got a lot of road games here in May. We'll see if we can put together a better month next time and put ourselves in a good position going into the heart of summer. But that's going to do it for this episode. Please leave your feedback down below. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Have a great day.